Welcome to Autoptic Presents. My name is Sean Knickerbocker. I'm your host. I'm here with our guest, Audra Stang. Audra is a cartoonist living in Thorndale, Pennsylvania, and is originally from Greensboro, North Carolina. Her one-person anthology, The Audra Show, collects autobiographical comics and stories about the inhabitants of the fictional town of Star Valley. So there you have it. So, I guess a great place to start is let's talk a little bit about the Audra Show. When did you start drawing that comic?
Well, do you mean when did I start having the character, or when did I literally
start? When did you start doing Star Valley stories?
Yeah, the Star Valley, the Star Valley characters and stuff, that's from high school. Some of them are, some of them aren't. But Owen and some of the other characters have been around since high school. But the first story in Audra Show I started drawing, let me think. I started drawing it right around my birthday. Because it was my birthday 2017, because my friends had come and brought my comics, and I had set up interviews at Chipotle. And so I was writing this Owen comic and sort of imagining working in restaurant, because I had this idea of I wanted to illustrate comics it was a restaurant. I wanted to do my own Dan Pussy, but it was going to be a restaurant. But then I ended up not doing that at all. I think there's still remnants of it in some of the character designs, but otherwise it doesn't really factor into anything. But B is kind of based on a younger Linda Berry in some ways. But yeah, I started drawing it then, and I drew it August to October 2017, but I didn't actually print it until SPX 2018. And there were some issue-sized ones, and then there were digest-sized ones. Yeah, I ended up doing digest-sized purely because it was, well, I shouldn't say purely. I liked how the scaled-down art looked more, but also it was a lot more financially feasible to print on 8.5 by 11 paper and cut that down than 11 by 17 and then cut that down. Yeah. So.
And you've been working in color for all the Audra Show.
Yeah.
Which is especially more expensive when it comes to printing.
Yeah, that's true. I hate to be I hadn't thought of that when I was drawing the comics. I mean, Frank had definitely mentioned that black and white is cheaper. When he covered that in the correspondence course too, where it's yeah, you can have a black and white comic with some with one other color, and then that'll translate to I do think about the value ranges, so that if it is printed in black and white. But then I don't know, I started working, it was for it was SPX 2019, and I'd been working at this restaurant for a few months, and I wanted to print some Audra shows, and my boyfriend was oh, you should just ask them if you could use the restaurant printer to print off some copies. So for the longest time I used the restaurant printer, and which was significantly cheaper than actually paying for colors. I just totally lucked out. Now I print them myself, and I use laser instead of inkjet, which also is a lot cheaper. It looks different. I don't like how it looks on white paper. It looks washed out. But on the colored paper, I think it still maintains I don't know.
You have a home laserjet color printer then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a brother. I spent one of my when I was unemployed, I was yeah, I can justify getting this printer because it's an investment, I'll end up making it back. So I bought the printer because I wasn't working at the restaurant anymore. I left my restaurant job, and people wanted books, and I wanted to give them to them, and so I was what's the most cost efficient way to do this? And it seemed buying my own printer would actually be the most feasible way. It's a good printer, I like it, but it's having some problems, but that's it. And some of the problems are because I'm using off-brand ink. So I majored in drawing and printmaking, but not to rip on my degree, I didn't really learn very much about digital print, like we never like fucked with like a digital printer, you know, like this one. And so stuff like cleaning the Corona wire, like I use off-brand ink, you know, so it jams up the Corona wire more. So when your Corona wire is dirty, like the, you know, like the color doesn't apply. And like I just had to, you know, I say it now because maybe somebody listening will be like, it's in the Corona wire. I see so many cartoonists on Instagram and shit who are like, my printer is fucked, help me. And so hopefully, I don't know, hopefully printmaking programs will start to factor in more, you know, like mine was very traditional. Like we did like lithography, like etching, like cool, valuable stuff. At the same time, I can honestly say there are principles of drawing, you know, that I learned in lithography that I've applied, but like I've never made like a lithograph since, you know, I did like wood cutting. That was cool. But, you know, like I haven't like applied, you know, yes, like design principles of wood cutting, but I haven't, you know, I miss doing that stuff. I mean, some of it too was just like the amount of space I had. I like traditional printmaking, but yeah, that's what I have now is just that Laser Boy. I thought about getting an inkjet printer, but for the Audra Show 6, I want to print it like full issue size. So I'm just going to outsource that somewhere. It seems like there's like good printers in Philadelphia because I would like to just be able to like go pick it up, you know. The mail scares me.
Shipping's the secret cost of printing.
Yeah. I mean, like I've thought about doing the like best value copy, but I mean, for like an issue size book, I feel at that point it's just more financially like feasible to just be like, yeah, like just have them trim it. Like I can't trim, like you know, I don't want to try trimming that shit and fucking it up. I need to get a new trimmer too, dude. My trimmer's gotten off. But yeah, so I'm just making these bitches in my house.
That's great though. I mean, that's the dream. At least for me, that's the dream. Everything I know about print, like it's because like I came at it from like the lens of like screen printing, you know.
Oh yeah, I love screen printing. I mean, like that's like, and like screen printing made me better at drawing too. You know what I mean? Like there's so many things you can't. Oh my god! Like I remember I did one and like it just fucking fell apart like on the screen because it had too much like stupid like little detailed shit. You know. I haven't done that in years.
I think that you're onto something with it, like the screen printing thing. Like it's definitely like informed my drawing too. Like because like prior to like getting into screen printing and all that stuff, like I was like super into like the Chester Brown style hatching and like to get like, textures and stuff. And then like as soon as I like learned how to screen print, I was like, oh, like I don't need to do all this hatching and stuff. Like I can layers, you know. And like I think that's around the time that I like start like checking in with like what was going on with Frank Santoro at the time and the stuff he was talking about, and like it kind of like lined up, you know.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I was gonna say that definitely was something that you know, like when I first did the Santoro course, like if I found like the drawings I submitted to get into, you know, like Frank thought they were good or whatever, but he was like, yeah, like you don't have to do like all that cross hatching because you do a lot of exercises where like you draw from life and stuff. And you know, he'd be like, yeah, like you don't have to do all that cross hatching and like because there's like a lot of work that the color can do, you know, that like the ink, you know, like I don't know, whatever, like Google Frank Santoro TCJ workbook or whatever, you know, like but the whole thing about how like the process of like you have your penciler to your pencils and your inker to your inks and your color. So then you have like the color and the ink both doing like the work on like the same job when like you could just have like the color do, you know, the same thing without the fucking ink, like, you know, because when you're a one person operation, you can't afford to fucking waste all your labor on stupid shit. Not that I don't love the hatched look. I've been feeling more drawn to that recently, like it's not called like cross hatch, like I shouldn't say like belabored, but like you know, like I see it in like some of Noah Van Sciver's stuff. Like Jasper Jubenville's like a good example where it's very not worked, but like Jasper does a lot of like ink detail, you know, and it's or like he looks at like Dick. Oh my God, it's Dick Tracy comics. I'm like I don't want to say that wrong. Because I know Jasper cares. But you know, or just like or like Eric Stanton. I've been looking at Eric Stanton a lot too, and like his like pinup drawings are like just like the elaborateness of like these drawings. I don't know. I guess it's like how you're feeling, or like the kind of story you want to tell.
Yeah.
You know,
So,
I I always get nervous doing these like interview things because I'm like so terrified I'm gonna be like, yes, I love like James Hernandez or something, and then listen to that and be like, fuck did I just do?
Jimmy
What's that?
Hernandez and Dickie Clowes, classic.
Yeah, yes, like that. It's so dumb. It's like the worst like part of like comic book culture because yes, because I literally did have the stereotypical one of the first times I went into a comic shop, somebody asked me to name like Robins. Yeah, like it's so not a thing now. But like when I was 14, up until really like I mean like up until maybe like the mid tens when like Adventure Time was like popular, like Steven Universe and like cartoon like the Cartoon Network properties were getting like more people into like comic book stores. Like I did not see other like girls or women in the store. And so like there I did have like the stereotypical conversations of people being like, do you know Robin's like real name? Like, do you know that there's like different like lantern cut, like can you name like other colors of like because people don't know like the first my like Wednesday like first Wednesday pickup comic was the Umbrella Academy,
Yeah.
because like I liked Fall Out Boy, my friend liked My Chemical Romance, and I loved like making fun of Gerard Way. So I assumed that because Fall Out Boy also, I might be getting these timelines wrong, but Fall Out Boy also did a comic book series called like Fallout Toy Works or something that was like,
Okay.
I didn't read it, but it just looked like a bad tie-in.
That sounds
So I
terrible.
assumed, yeah, I assumed like Gerard's thing would be like this, like also like a bad tie-in.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know like Gerard was a cartoonist before he was in MCR. He went to SBA, and all that stuff. So I was like, wow, this is actually like really good. And I started picking it up on Wednesdays, but I'm like an emo looking 14-year-old girl at the shop, so people are like, like you're not really into comics, you just are here for you think Gerard Way is hot, right? And they'd be like, I don't even care about Gerard Way, I care about comics. But it's like now, like no, like I doubt like a 14-year-old girl would have like that interaction in a comic book shop, or at least I would hope not. I don't know. I haven't been like the comic book shops I go to, like Phantom of the Attic in Pittsburgh, like yeah, like totally, women, or like and like copacetic, like, same deal. So I don't know. This was like just the old
It's a different
times.
time.
I think it's just like a shift in
Yeah,
like who's into comics, or
definitely.
comics, not even comics but comics properties.
Yeah, all that stuff. I mean, it's all shifted so much. I mean, like I
Yeah,
remember there's like a really funny video of like SPX from 2005, and every single person there just looks like Jeffrey Brown. Like it's just like a
yeah,
Jeffrey Brown, and it's so funny to think like that's just like not what SPX looks like anymore at all. Like and like it's come a long way. Like
yeah,
it's still like the scene definitely still has like its problems, and like comics in America in general have their problems, but yeah, like
yeah.
those comic shops sound terrible.
And I should say, like, that was only like one guy. It was like one guy, and like, and I don't know what happened to that guy, because like the shop owner was like super cool. Like he'd be like, I saw this comic, and like it looks like some like like he would show me like, because I had expressed like I want to read some comics by women, because I read like a lot of manga, but it was harder to find, or yeah, I mean at that time it was harder to find because I didn't have internet yet. I had found like Lauren Weinstein's Girl Stories at the public library looking for manga.
Yeah,
And so, I was like, you have anything like this, and it was like hard to find, like, I want like stories like, like this. And so like the owner of that shop would be like, hey, like, is this like, what you're looking for? But it was just like that one fucking dude. Like years later, I was there, and I was like in college and talking about going to see Fall Out Boy in concert. And he was like, Fall Out Boy sucks. I'm like, what's like, you're just an asshole. Get out of here, Um, but there was another shop too in Greensboro that called Parts Unknown, and at that shop, the owner John Hitchcock, he had like done a book of his letters back and forth with Alex Toth, and like he got me more into like the EC guys, like Kurtzman and like Mad Magazine and that stuff. Like he gave me like a copy of like Bitchy Bitch. So like between the two shops, like, you know, like I was getting like my backs, you know, like if I wanted like my indie back scratches, you know, and then like I'd go to like my home shop, you know, because it literally was like right by my home when I wanted to itch like my more mainstream scratches, for lack of a better term. You know, I hate, like, I just don't want to like badmouth anybody, because like I had like an unreasonably good comics experience in Greensboro overall as somebody who like didn't have access to the internet and just would walk into shops as like a little free, you know, because there was like there really was like this weird time where like early into liking comics, like maybe like the late 10s, like I remember reading the comments on something and like dudes were saying like women aren't really into comics, they just get into comics because they know like men are into comics and they like want men to I'm like, first of all, that's like the most roundabout like fucking like I would not fucking choose comics. It's such a, you know, such an arduous trek, especially, you know, depending on what, like I tried to read like DC stuff when they did like the new 52 or whatever, but yeah, and I liked Animal Man. I was reading the new 52 Animal Man, but then it hit a point where like they wanted me to buy Swamp Thing and some other thing, and I was like, y'all want me to read all of this shit? I just want to read Animal Man. Now I can't even know what's happening in Animal Man without, you know, fuck this, I'm out of here, you know. But I tried, because I was really into like Teen Titans, the Cartoon Network show. You know, like I first got into comics because of like newspaper comics, but then like, you know, like that's what got me into like DC Marvel comics. You know, and like I like that stuff. I hate the movies. The movies are just like stupid fucking military propaganda, you know. But like oh, I like the comic books, the older comic books.
So do we want to like jump into the reading then?
Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot about that. Okay. This is Tunnel Vision by Audra Stang in the year 2021. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. Jesse, what do you know about the sea's tunnels? Heard people fuck there. They call it the Tunnel of Love. Others, the fuck zone. In Spanish, zona de culier, which is actually closer to cunt zone. Wow, I didn't know you spoke Spanish. I don't. Why are y'all going around asking about the fuck zone? You're the one who called it that, idiot. You're good kids. You don't have to go to the fuck zone to get laid. You're not hot, but you're not ugly. And you can fix stuff. Adelaide, your haircut makes you look like you're 9. Bernie, your makeup makes you look like a Satan worshiper. Get fucked. Oh, wait, you can't. Okay, Bryce, your great-grandfather built the Seas complex, including the Seas tunnels. Do you know how many are abandoned? I don't know. All right, you heard the man. He don't know. This interview is over, ladies. What? Yeah. What's your rush? The high school teams are here. Those girls are hot, and we don't want them to think we're taken. Oh, I bet they're so concerned. I'm sure not. Bernie! Hi! Who's Stan's buddy? Hey, how do you know them? They work at my mom's restaurant. It would suck if I ever told them about your gym boners. I'll make you a deal. If you fuck off now, I'll show you a secret entrance after the cookout. Secret entrance, huh? Yup. So, bye. See you later, assholes. Bye. You suck, dude. I thought we were going to play Xbox later. Sorry. But thanks to my negotiating skills, we'll be playing with high school tits tomorrow. Life's about painting the big picture, and mine's going to have lots of lovely bitches. My name is Bernadine Chenier. I'm 14 years old, and I grew up in Star Valley. I don't remember when it was a bustling tourist town. It was over before I got here. All I know is what's left. Oh yeah, the wall cover was a good idea. Well, what's left above ground anyway. I try. Ding. Oh, that's Jesse. We're gonna meet him and Bryce at Sam's at 6. Bryce? Is that okay? I thought since you like him. I do not like him. I meant as a friend, dummy. Yeah. Bryce is just kind of annoying around Jesse because they're all sports, ball, game. More like sports are lame. Did I tell you? The bitch wants me to go play tennis with her. Could you imagine? I mean, yeah, you were pretty good at badminton and gym. Shuttlecock! I'm launching the cock. Slam that cock. I heard that Mr. Nutley tried to cancel the badminton unit after our class. The other PE teachers told him to nut up. I still can't believe he autoerotic asphyxiated himself to death. R.I.P. Yeah, we're going to Scuttle Park. I think I know that place. Where Scott Nutley's little brother used the sandbox like a litter box. Meow. Yep. Sucks his dad jacked it to death. What a way to go. I wonder if there is a God. I asked her to draw a bikini model. It was cool, except she put cat ears on it. Why don't you just go on the internet instead of buying drawings from Adelaide? Believe me, I do. But my Nana said supporting the arts is important. So it's like kind of a tribute to her. There they are. We're here. No shit. End of part 1.